Things I wish I knew before dating a Nigerian man.
They have different phones for different people. You're not hearing me. They have phones for specific people. They will put your number according to how important you are to them.
The Jolofinas actually need to understand that they are now entering into a mutual polygamy, because this is what's going to happen. In the past, Nigerian brothers will stay in South Africa for years without going back to see their wives. But it's not going to be like that anymore.
Guys, why is it when South African hands are eating our Asian food, they're never judged? Nothing is ever said. They'll eat their dumplings and their chow mein, nothing is ever said. But once they eat jollof rice and igusi soup.
Guys, I hear you. You're busy saying Akwana Nigeria, and some of us who've been dealing with them for very long. Okay, so I have this one story that I want to tell you. This is the worst experience about dating Nigerian men.
Things I wish I knew before dating a Nigerian man. First things first, I'm gonna say you need tough skin. Their jokes are not funny because most of the time you're the butt of the joke. But if you can learn how to have tough skin and hit him back with the same energy, you'll be fine. Secondly, his friends are not your friends. No matter how nice they are to you, no matter how many times they tell you make him so happy, girl, they are not your friends, okay? They are more likely to show him another hand to be with. So just keep that in mind. Don't be nice to everyone. I'd say that they're very intentional. So if a Nigerian man is not giving you actions and just words, you really know what's up. Their actions really speak louder than their words, girl. The last thing I'd say is they're the ask and you shall receive type. So with the Nigerian man, if you don't tell him directly, babe, I want 2, 3, 4, 5, he's not going to be able to read it. That's not it.
So allegedly, it's been confirmed that most or many of our Nigerian brothers that are married in South Africa or having long-term relationships with our Jolofinas, our sisters, they are also married in Nigeria. Wait, that is not the issue. That is not the point. The Jolofinas know, they are fine about that. They don't have a problem. Now the problem is this. Our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is trying to make it easy for our Nigerian brother to have an easy travel from Nigeria to South Africa, and also to have their business operated in South Africa. Imagine me going to ShopRite to go get Maggie. Let's leave it. That is not the problem. Then, now the issue is here. We now need to understand that we are entering into, the Jolofinas actually need to understand that they are now entering into a mutual polygamy, because this is what's going to happen. In the past, Nigerian brothers will stay in South Africa for years without going back to see their wives. But it's not going to be like that anymore. Meaning that our Jolofinas, our sisters here, they need now to have a mutual relationship with our wives. Imagine calling Nigeria saying, my wife, how are you? How is my husband? That kind of a thing. So things are about to get hot. I mean, I can imagine the competition already between Nigerian wife and a South African. No, the drama can never end.
Guys, why is it when South African hands are eating our Asian food, they're never judged? Nothing is ever said. They'll eat their dumplings and their chow mein, nothing is ever said. But once they eat jollof rice and igusi soup, suddenly they're dating Nigerians. Suddenly it goes down way easier when you're sleeping with them. How, guys, what's wrong with jollof rice and igusi? What's wrong with pepper soup? And what's so wrong about Nigerian men? What's so wrong?
Guys, I hear you. You're busy saying Akwana Nigeria, and some of us who've been dealing with them for very long. Okay, so I have this one story that I want to tell you. This is the worst experience about dating Nigerian men. So this guy, me and him, we dated. This was before Mr. Jelofo, around Mr. Jelofo. I don't know, because me and Mr. Jelofo have been up and down. So me and this guy, we see each other every day. Hi, man, it's nice. This guy, Nigerians with money, taking women out, they do the right things. So this guy, of course, I like him, he likes me. And then this one day he tells me that his father passed away. He's going back to Nigeria and he's never coming back. Am I not sympathizing with the guy the whole week? Making sure he's okay. Doing all these things with him. Okay, we've been together for like a month or so. Of course, don't ask me why would I start figuring my zippo so soon. Anyways, this guy, okay, he tells me I'm going to Nigeria. Okay, bye. Hi, one day, okay, we keep texting back and forth. How one day I accidentally forget and I call him with a straight call. Guess what? The call went through. Yo. My phone. Like, one thing I can assure you of, one day this guy, me and him, we will meet. I don't know, at the mall or what. Get it but people meet. But I'm telling you, that guy was strategically smart that he didn't want to break up with me. So he did it smartly. So these Nigerians that are busy saying akona ma Nigeria, these men, actually African men, whether you're in America or anywhere, if you date these African men, most relationships I do not admire when it comes to African men, because most of these guys, they are married back home or they have girlfriends or whatever. There's just something with people from back home. If you find a guy from back home that did not grow up here, my sister ran away. But if you find a guy from back home and he came here like you, he just wants the green card or something, my sister. So I keep listening to the song Akona Nigeria, and I'm thinking I'm busy dealing with them, but I know every trick they have in the book. Why am I not leaving them alone? No idea. There's only few Nigerians that are married to people that are outside their culture. Few Africans are married to other, maybe not actually Africans, like, be specific. When you're from Africa, maybe you're from like South Africa, or South Africans, we are sort of xenophobic, but when it comes to men and they have money, we do not mind, marrying and but when it comes to men specifically, they stick into their tribe or something like that. Whew. These days I'm so strategic with Mojolo. Like, I'm so strategic. I'm like, God, whomever that I may date, you were either born and raised here, you're not doing drugs, you have a good credit. If you're from outside, I want to meet your family first before anything. And I want to make sure that you are not married home. But I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but we are still working on it. If it's a white man, it has to be a white man who is sort of, I don't want a guy who just wants to date a black woman just because everybody thinks he's not racist. I want to date a white man that really is attracted to me. Because I'm not going to say I want a man who doesn't see color. Because if I'm black, I'm black. You're white, you're white. But dating needs strategy. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying.
10 reasons why you shouldn't date a Nigerian man.
So number one is probably a fuck boy. Yeah. So what do I mean by fuck boy? They like to sleep around. Number two is polygamous in nature. Yeah. So still related to the number one, that being a fuck boy. Polygamous in nature is that I might want to have two to three girlfriends at a time. And number three is probably going to cheat on you. Also, this has nothing to do with my personal experience. This is from Google.
You guys remember last year when I talked about 3 things I wish I knew before I started dating Nigerian men? Well, there's a hell lot of things I forgot to put in on that video. This year, the things that I've learned, like on this year alone, like just this short amount of time, is that they have different phones for different people. You're not hearing me. They have phones for specific people. They will put your number according to how important you are to them. So if you see that your number is in the phone that he hardly uses, or maybe in the iPhone 8, or maybe in the iPhone 12 that he rarely use, you are less important to him. You are least important to him because he doesn't want the person that is important to him to see your text. I will give you guys a story time on how I actually knew that. But now let's continue. Number two, they are literally emotionally attached to their friends. You're not hearing me. They are literally emotionally attached to their friends, and I also have a story time about that one also. And number three, when you are trying to gossip about him, or when you are trying to speak about him and he's in the same room as you and you are speaking to your friends, don't use your own language, because he will know that you're talking about him. Instead, use code. Use certain codes that you have with your friends. Have a particular name for him, and have name particular things with codes. For example, you're speaking about a phone, you would say umnxeba or something. Like, just try and use like certain codes within there, and he won't know that you're talking about him. He'll think that you're talking about someone else, and his focus will not be on you. Because one thing I've realized about him is that I think now, or maybe someone decided that he was going to show him that video, because he's not on TikTok, he's only on Instagram. Even on Instagram he hardly posts anything. He doesn't even post anything. So I think maybe someone decided that he was going to send him that phone, so every time that I'm around, they would literally speak in their language, but they can see that I can see that they are talking about me. But now what they're doing is that they speak in codes. They literally speak in codes. They speak in codes, and I don't even get what they are saying, because I don't even know. So I don't pay attention, because I think maybe it's a boy stuff or man stuff that they're talking about, so I don't take notice. So that's the smartest about using code, is that he won't notice that you're talking about him. And I wish that someone don't send this video to him, because I'm gonna die. Okay, the last one, you guys, the last one. Like I said last year, don't make friends with his friends. Act like you don't even care that they exist. I'm telling you, it's gonna help you a long run. Because me, I don't even know his friend's name. Not because I don't want to, but because I don't care. Because they are not my friends. So I get to be played in peace if he's playing me. Even though I would hit him anyways. I'm joking, I'm not a violent person. But I get to be played in peace. Because one thing that you will do when you are friends with his friends is that you would want to know everything that is happening around there. If he dumps you, you would want to connect. You would want to talk to him through his friends, of which is there's a particular person that I'm not going to mention by name that has been bothering my boyfriend through his friends.